Hi everyone, this is Diane. I have done all the work on the pages for the two file folder journals that I'm making. So now I'm just going to put the pages together into their signature, and then we will put things into the pockets. So I do have to make some of the ephemera to go in there, but I've also just gathered some things to stick in as they are. So let's just start by putting the pages together. So I'm doing two journals at the same time here. And many of these pages we decorated on video. And I think I've only done one video of this book, so I did a lot in that video because I deleted a lot of stuff and compressed everything. So I worked on the covers and then I worked on decorating the pages all in one video. We constructed some of the big pages with extensions, putting pages together and then even extending them. Making fun pockets. Made a shaped page by cutting around an image that we glued on. And I didn't do it on video, but I sprayed some of the pages with my spray inks or food coloring sprays. And I was wondering where my covers were. They were right in the middle of my pile of pages. They're all decorated with their metal pieces. And then in the center of the signature, I have the cover dust jacket of one of my uppercase publications of the Encyclopedia of Inspiration. Look at the beautiful fabrics here. They look like sheets. And then on the inside, we have books. And I decorated the back side of that with a vintage appointment book page that you can write on, and then a vintage lady from a 1920s magazine. There's this one. This is from an older magazine. And that is the middle. So all the pages are compiled. And let me see, I think, looks like I might have to trim some pages. So this page is shorter than this one, narrower, but that's okay. So I don't have to trim everything to fit that, but I want to trim it so that it doesn't extend too much beyond this lace that's sticking out here. So I see some pages near the center. As they go closer to the center, they stick out more. So I'm going to trim this page and see how that looks. looks good. I think I'll do the map page a little bit too. Okay, we are now ready to make ephemera. So in this big pocket, I'm going to make a big card to go in there. And I have some off-white cardstock, and I have some large images to choose from. So I would have to trim this down if I wanted to use that. I'm going to just set the covers aside. I don't need them for this right now. And I kind of want to see the colors on the pages that I'm working with. So this would look quite nice on this page, I think. Yeah, I think I'll do that. I'm going to want this card to be about 7 1/4 by, it could be 9 or 9 1/2. So I'm going to cut the cardstock to that size, and then I can always trim it down. So we didn't cut too much off of that big picture. And I'll just attach that, and then I will sew around it. Oop, that little corner came off. And I'm going to put a little bit of lace on this much of the edge. So I have some laces here. Could be that, or a piece of that, which I like. That's too big, so I'm going to use this. And I'll attach that when I sew around the edge. I think it was removed from something. It's got some threads hanging. So that will just go in one pocket. So I'll just tuck that in there till I finish the video, and then I can go to my sewing machine. So we need to put one in here. So I have two choices with this. I could put her on, trim it around her a little bit closer and put her on some patterned paper or cardstock. Or I could glue her to this and cut around her and have a shaped tag. I think I'm going to do that. I like doing the shaped tags. Well, I can trim closer to her when I cut it out. This was on the cover of a delineator magazine. And I will let that dry before I cut it out. Okay, so what are we going to do next? I have this little pile of images to look through when I need to select an image. On this one, I have a pocket, so I'm going to put one of these receipts in it from Meredith Bottling Works, and a piece of wallpaper that you can either just write on the back or use somewhere in your journal to decorate. Do whatever you want with it. I'm just going to put a piece of pretty wallpaper in. I'll make that just a little bit narrower so it doesn't get bent up when the page turns. And of course, you can put your own memorabilia in these pockets. This is the next pocket, isn't it? I didn't finish this because they're backwards because of the way the picture ended up being. So this page is supposed to be this. So I need something to glue here to form the pocket here. So I will do that. I'm just not going to take the time to do it right now. So in these two pockets, I have this sheet, Desk Memorandum, which is vintage. I don't know how old. And then a couple of magazine images I will tuck in. Like maybe this one, but I will put them on cardstock. Or I had these pulled. This one could go in one of them. I'd rather have her facing the other way, like peeking out of the pocket like that. So I might use her for a different pocket. But I could put her in and her. These will just be added to my pile of ephemera, or ladies to choose from. And I do want to put two in each of these pockets though, so I'll just pick some out and cut my cardstock. All right, so it can be, I don't want it too much taller than that, but it can be a little bit wider. So this is 8.5, and the width is 5.5. So I'll try making it 6.5 or 7. Actually, I will cut this one smaller. And I will, whoops, sorry. I will trim this, but I want to leave a border so I can do a border punch on it. That border punch will stick out of the pocket. There's that. And I think I'll put this one in here. And I'll just glue this to paper. Because if I could fold it up and tuck it in, that'll give you lots of journaling space. I need a big paper to do that. So it's glued to this large grid paper that I have, and I will just fold it up right here and tuck it in here. And I do have this pocket done. I think it's going to get one of these large antique cards tucked in here. And this, I think this might go in too far. Yeah, I'll find something else, somewhere else to put that, but I wanted one of these envelopes to go in somewhere. And I'm not going to put anything in the envelopes. That's for you to put things in that you want to save. So there's an envelope in there. And I have an envelope for the other one and one of these antique cards. So I just need to put a couple of large images in there. And I have these ready. Well, that old magazine paper is just going to be a problem with the paper trimmer, so I'll just trim that as straight as I could. And now I will round the corners. I think that will look better that way. So now this pocket is full. Okay, so this is the image I chose from an old magazine, and I glued her to the lined colored paper, and I will glue it here, and it will be a pocket. And then that card is too big, but maybe this card will fit. Okay, once the glue dries, but it could go, can it go this way? Nope, it's a little too tall. So I guess because this image isn't quite as tall as the other one I did, I might not be able to put this in there. No, I'll have to find something else to go in this pocket. Okay, so now we're going to go to the center of the book, and it's not a pocket, but it is this flap. And I'm just going to make a journal card that we can clip to it. So I have these two pieces that I had already glued to cardstock, just pages from books. And I'm going to just decorate them a little bit. I have some labels and some ladies. These are digital labels. I think I'd like to use her. I'm going to see if I have one of my big die cut numbers. See if I have any of the big ones cut. Maybe this is as big as they are. I have these that were punched out of something. I've had those for a long time. Just something simple like that. I think I like it better like that. There's that one pinned on. I think I'll use this one because there's that darkness under the brim of her hat, so it doesn't all just blend in with this. add some color with the label. So here is this card ready to be paper clipped in here. Well, I didn't even make a pocket on this page yet. I neglected that. So this will have a pocket. See if I can find one. Oh, I'm going to use this shoe because I have two like this. Is this the other one? I thought I had one. Yeah, here. Nope. All right, bring them here. She could be a pocket. This is the other one. Okay, so let me think. She could be the pocket, and then this could be the tag. This is advertising shoes. That could go in there. And for the other journal, she could be the pocket, and that could go in there. So I will have to glue these to cardstock and cut them out. And then glue these to cardstock. These are from 1910. Okay, so here is this pocket. I glued her on the blue cardstock and cut around her. And glued this to cardstock, tucked it in there, and then this is a statement of account from 1939 that I tucked in there. I have more pockets to fill, but I'm going to have to do that another day because it is Saturday and I have house cleaning I want to do. Here is this other pocket that I did in the other journal. And again, the shoe ad and the statement of account. So we are almost done. Like I said, I have a few more pockets to fill, and then put the journals together. And I'll be back probably with that video because I don't think that I'll fill the last few pockets on camera. So I've got, obviously have to cut her out, do some sewing here and add the lace. But we got a lot done today. Now I need to move on with my day. So thanks for hanging out with me today. And I will see you in the next video. And I hope you're having a creative day. Bye.